How's it going, all? This is rewardadrawer, RAD for short, raising money for Rise Above the Disorder, which helps provide access to therapy services all around the world. One of the barriers people face when in a mental health crisis is feeling alone in the world, like nobody understands them or can understand them. To help fight this and to raise awareness for those struggling with their mental health issues, I reached out to a few friends, familiar faces to a lot of you, to share a little bit of their mental health journey with you. Enjoy.
Hello everybody, how you doing? My name's Alex. Online I go by derpferdler.
So I'm really bad at introducing myself. So bad, in fact, that I completely forgot how to that I was supposed to do that the first time. But hello, hi, howdy, I'm PenguinBritt. I stream on Twitch. I speedrun Stardew Valley on there sometimes, and I also cosplay, which is pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Backlash. I'm a streamer slash content creator, but relevant to this event, I also have generalized anxiety disorder, and well, not an illness in itself, ADHD that tends to exacerbate it.
Hello, my name is Fig, and I live with depression, anxiety, and PTSD.
Hello, I'm a resolution illusion, and I was asked to answer some questions, so I'm going to do that.
How has mental illness affected your life?
Well, as someone with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, my mental illness affects every aspect of my life. It affects my ability to interact with people and maintain healthy relationships. It prevents me from entering certain situations, and it has held me back in a lot of ways that I'm still learning about today. And I'm constantly learning new things about my own mental illness.
Mental health has affected my life in too large of a way to quantify, to be honest. As a teenager, I wasn't comfortable going to therapy. I thought there were too many hoops to gain access. I wasn't taught enough in my youth to fully acknowledge that I needed help. And frankly, I was too scared to ask. So in a roundabout way, in a probably unhealthy way at the time, taught myself coping methods that were in hindsight very close to cognitive behavioral therapy, though without the help of a medical professional to help it go through smoothly.
It's funny because I've never been like officially diagnosed with any mental illnesses, right? I never have, but done a lot of Googling over the years to be like, why do I do this thing? Why is this, you know what I mean? Like, I think we all do that, right? We're all guilty of Googling why we are the way that we are, or why is this happening to me? But I've never actually been diagnosed with anything, but I'm pretty sure it sounds so like, whatever, but I'm pretty sure that I suffer from, like, I know I suffer from anxiety. I know I do. Social anxiety, that's been my whole life. Depression, I'm pretty sure I go through pretty, like, low periods. I think everybody does, it's just part of life. It's part of living in this world these days. But I'm pretty sure I have social anxiety. I'm very much a loner, right? I spend a lot of time by myself and stuff. And I'm sure if I were to go to a doctor or something and be like, hey, this is the way I am, blah blah blah, just put out all the points, they'd be like, yeah, you have X, Y, and Z, you have all this stuff, right? But yeah, how's it affected my life? It's definitely affected it. I mean, I'm very, growing up I would have trouble with, like, hanging out with friends. I'd always feel very insecure, or even if it was just like, being at school or being at work. When I used to, like, I used to be a cashier at two places in my town, a grocery store and then a gas station, before I became I didn't mention this, I'm a full-time streamer currently. But before that, I was, working at those places, interacting with the public and whatnot. And I don't know if that exposure helped me, because I'm still the way that I am, and it was just something to have to get through, to do those like work shifts and going to school and all that kind of stuff growing up, right? So
Mental illness has prevented me from doing a lot of things that I love to do. I find it hard to like engage with people that I want to be friends with as well when I'm feeling especially sad. It's also negatively impacted a lot of my friendships because of this, as well as my work and other relationships that I've had too.
Mental illness has had a huge effect on my life. Over the years, as I've struggled with mental illness and the stigma that comes with it, I've lost a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of relationships. My professional life has been delayed by almost a decade, and it's taken a huge physical and emotional toll on both me and those who care about me. I can say that mental illness has also brought me closer to the people who have stuck with me, and they have shown me just how much people can do for one another.
When you are struggling with your mental health, what's something you do that helps you get better?
So when I'm really struggling with mental health, specifically when I'm in a crisis, I find that like a nice cool shower tends to help me get me out of my head a little bit. Also, obviously, playing your favorite video game is a very good thing to do. I personally also like to have like a nostalgic like meal. Like mac and cheese is like one of my favorites because it's something that I grew up on a lot.
It varies from situation to situation. So if it's something that I can acknowledge in the moment, sometimes simply just acknowledging it being there and that it's happening, such as a flashback, I am able to get a hold of my mental health in that regard. Sometimes it sneaks up on me and I don't always know or can't always anticipate that's happening, so I have to do other things like meditation or writing or even just distracting myself with video games.
If it's something like a little bit, more continuous, less kind of like crisis, I find that like self-care is really important, so that's why I dye my hair. I'll dye my eyebrows or I'll do my eyebrows or something, or even just like doing my makeup of a morning, or whenever I get up and going for a walk somewhere, whether it be just to the shops or to a nice park somewhere and just sitting somewhere. That's usually what I like to do.
best thing is to just do what you enjoy when you're not feeling great inside, you know what I mean? And no matter what that is, if you want to listen to music, if you want to play a game, if you want to watch a movie, if you want just whatever you need to like distract yourself, because otherwise how it is for me is you just get trapped in your head. You just think about stuff all the time. You're just constantly thinking about the stuff that upsets you, I guess. And I think distraction is the best thing, whether that be to do something you enjoy, if you want to reach out to a friend, if you have a good support system, hopefully you do. Those would be the best things to do.
I also find like reaching out to a friend is also very helpful. It is quite hard to sort of say to somebody like, hey, I'm struggling, can you help me? So saying something as simple as like, hey, like how was your day? And just like having that personal interaction to really just distract you from what's going on in your head is very, very helpful.
Having a good support network is something that has really helped my mental health, and having people I can just go to and say, hey, I'm struggling right now is huge.
Just basically do anything you can to just not stay in it, right? And that's easier said than done, but that's definitely something to try if you're able to.
How has therapy impacted your life?
Therapy has been a lifesaver for me. Therapy has helped me have tools to handle my past, my present, and my future issues, and I can't describe how much that's really helped me. The feeling of having someone who can tell me that what I'm feeling is both real and manageable is incredible, and I cannot overstate just how important mental health care has been and continues to be in my life.
Therapy was great in helping me understand a lot of my deep-seated trauma that I have. My sessions ended early because I had to move, but the ones that I did have still help me even now that I'm not in therapy. So they help me kind of like identify why I'm feeling certain ways or where certain ideas have come from in my life. Like if I'm having a negative thought, I sort of like, backtrack, like who said that? Like it's not you, who said that? Kind of a thing. I would love to go back and help process the remaining feelings and thoughts that I still don't understand, and maybe like help overcome the remaining trauma that I have endured. But yeah, it has helped me.
So I've been in and out of therapy since I was 16. When I initially started going, it wasn't in relation to the mental health issues I have now, but it has been helpful from that initial therapist I had when I was 16 up until my most recent one that I no longer see. That's a personal choice, but it's made my life a lot better. I don't think I would have made as much progress with my mental health if I hadn't gone to therapy. I think it was a huge piece in my journey.
What would access to therapy mean to you?
It'd probably be good. I've never been one to like be super comfortable with opening up to people, whether they be like close to me in my life or a professional like a therapist, right? That's always been tough for me. That's the roadblock I need to unpack or whatever. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
Access to therapy today for me wouldn't have as big of an impact for me as it would have been beneficial when I was younger. I feel that having that support structure and medical professional help would have helped me and give me the tools I currently use today, though in a much safer and more supportive environment than I helped myself in.
If you could say one thing to people watching this who are struggling with their mental health, what would it be?
If there's something I would tell someone struggling with their mental health, is that there's no shame in getting help in any way. Whether it's therapy, medication, or just opening up to a support system, it's not a sign of weakness, and having support can make all the difference in helping you get to where you need to be.
Just make the best of every day, right? You never know what tomorrow's going to be like. You know what I mean? Tomorrow could be an amazing day, and you don't want to miss out on that, right? So that's what keeps me going.
As cheesy as it sounds, I'm gonna say this, but it gets better. It really does get better. Anything that you're feeling right now is temporary. It can change. You will not feel this way forever. It feels daunting in this moment, I'm sure, but it changes. And you have all the power to do that. It's just taking those first steps. It's scary. I'm not gonna say it's not scary, but it is so worth it. It's life-changing. I don't know how else to put that. It's life-changing.
If you're struggling right now, I want to say to you that you are not alone. There are people who understand how you feel, even if you don't understand it yourself, or if you can't find the words to express it, or if no one seems to be listening. People understand how you feel. And just as importantly, there is always someone who can help. Someone who wants to see you feel better for no other reason than that you deserve to feel happy. Because you are worth the time and effort it takes to heal and recover.
There are thousands of things that I want to say, but mostly just you'll be okay. You're not a burden, and there are people who care about you. Yeah.
The most important thing I could say to any of you is, are really, truly not alone. A quarter of all adults will face a major mental health crisis at some point in their lives. It's 1 in 4. Mental illness affects millions of people per year, including some of your peers, even those who are seen as pillars of strength in communities. Whatever you are going through, many have gone through it before, and many will after. And we are constantly learning how to adapt and grow past these issues. There are resources out there to help you, and people who love you and want to see you live a happy life. You are not alone.